Hello, Dave.
Hello, Matt. How's it going?
All right.
Good. Well, here we are again.
Correct the mundo.
And the year 2025, which is when Stephen King's novel The Running Man, published as written by Richard Bachman, is set. I didn't know that. People aren't currently being hunted for television, but we're only 2 days into this crap fest. So, quote, there's still time, unquote, question mark. It sounds like you're sort of on the same page as I am, where you're not especially optimistic starting new years or finishing old ones.
I'm getting to that point where, it used to be kind of neat. You were living in the future, like, 2019, that's when Blade Runner's set. And Blade Runner's a great movie. And then it's like, now we're to The Running Man. I've read The Running Man a couple times. I mean, it's not very optimistic.
Right. It's like, here's all the signposts on the way to dystopia. You let me know when you want to get off and walk. Okay, you got, it's my turn to remember Jeff Seiler, which it is, but I am going to pull a bit of a switcheroo here and start off with Michael R's question. Hi, Matt. Happy New Year to you and yours. Here's my question for Dave. Hi, Dave. Now that 2024 has ended, what's up ahead for Aardvark-Vanaheim and Dave Sim for 2025? And Matt says, naps? I feel like the answer is naps. A Kickstarter at the end of the month? That's crazy talk, Sim. Nice segue, because yes, we are going to, God willing, we are going to be doing a Kickstarter starting this month. Did you know about that, or did they keep that secret from you?
They told me about that.
Did they? Okay. So they let the cat out of the bag.
I'm still on the Service and Hell team email thread, and when things like this are coming, they usually say something so I know it's coming down, and so we can go, hey, is there anything we got to correct on this one before, it goes to press? Because we really try not to have the mistakes get out in the public. Right.
Let's fix them before they get there. Anyway, the reason that I started with Michael R. is that this segues into my Jeff Seiler story. And this was literally right next to me here in the rectangle office on the side table that's got the telephone is the picture that Jeff Seiler took of me downstairs where Now and Then Books used to be, where Denny and I met. And he sent me 2 framed copies of it. And one of the things that I've got tucked into the frame is the Jeff Seiler memorial card that Waverly Press did, card number 301. But the other thing that I just never paid attention to, or don't usually pay attention to, is something that Jeff sent me. I don't think it was 2015, but it wasn't too long after 2015, and it's a Cerberus card. Menagerie of the Mind, Topps cards, Allen and Ginter. And I have no idea who Allen and Ginter are. 2015. And you flip the card over, and it says, Menagerie of the Mind, Cerberus. The hellhound the hellhound guarding the entrance to Hades, or the underworld, In Greek and Roman mythology, Cerberus was a three-headed black canine, frequently depicted with a long serpent's tail. The vicious creature was the ultimate guard dog. Its job was to make certain Hades could be entered only by the dead, and that no one who entered could ever escape. So, interesting enough so far, and it's got a watercolor picture of Cerberus on the front of it. The weird thing is, and I had to get out my jeweler's loupe to look at the credit at the bottom, and I'm going, is that a Major League Baseball logo? And yes, it is. It's a Major League Baseball logo, and the Topps logo. So it's a Topps Major League Baseball card, and it's got all of the copyright information for Major League Baseball. And I'm going, what does A, Cerberus, and B, Menagerie of the Mind have to do with Major League Baseball?
That I don't know.
I was wondering if you would know that one off the top of your head. Now, the reason that Jeff sent it to me, and I remember that he did send it to me, was saying, this is a chase card, which I understand what a chase card is. It's a randomly placed card in packs of trading cards that usually you're trading for something else. Isn't that how chase cards work?
The way I always understood it was the chase cards were, usually, like, you buy a box of 36 packs, you're guaranteed to get one full set of whatever cards it is. There might be a second full set, but you may be missing a few cards. The chase cards are where it might be one out of every 300 or 400 packs, so you're not guaranteed to get the chase set, but you are guaranteed to get the main set.
Right, and there were things like we're going to put a Wayne Gretzky autograph card in there or something like that, which would be like 1 out of 1,000 or 1 out of 2,000.
My friend was really into baseball cards, and for a while they were doing. It's a card, but it's like 3 times as thick, and there's a piece of somebody's jersey, that they cut out, and it's sealed in the card. There's a window so you can see it, and they were doing them for The Walking Dead. There was a Walking Dead card set that they had chase cards that it had memorabilia from the show, and because my buddy is into cards, he discovered that if you take the pack and you flex it just a little bit, regular cards will flex a certain amount, and if it's a chase card like this, it doesn't have as much bend to it. And so he was getting, it got to the point where it's not fun for him because you can go in and immediately know, okay, these 3 packs have a chase. And
there's a few examples of that. Like they did metallic chase cards, and everybody got out their metal detectors and went, oh, this one's we're pulling this back out because it's got a chase card in it.
I think my favorite, there was a baseball card set. It was baseball, but the chase cards were greatest of all times, and one of them was Pele. And my friend, he's like, I don't understand this. I've got 3 of these things now. They're kind of limited, but at the same time, they're kind of not. And I don't understand, why is Pele in a baseball card set? And I'm like, I don't know. You're my card guy. If you don't know, nobody knows.
And that's where it sits. It's just a mystery.
It's probably somebody at Topps had this great idea, and somebody approved it without thinking it through. Of, instead of doing a greatest of all times card set, we'll just make it a chase card for the 2014 regular baseball cards. Like, okay, obviously somebody was going to lunch when they went, sure, whatever.
Or somebody at Topps said, look, the international audience for Pele buries anything having to do with Major League Baseball, so all we do is throw him in and everybody in Spain and Portugal and Mexico and worldwide are going, I have to get a Pele card, and go out and buy hundreds and thousands of packs, not caring that they just throw them away. The rest of them, all they're doing is looking for Pele. That's a theory. That's it's all theoretical. Anyway, the reason that Jeff sent me the card in the first place was saying, you have to do this sometime. This works. This will generate sales, and he was suggesting it as insert cards into the comic books that you're selling on Kickstarter, and make it random. And I was going, that sounds like another one of those. I think that would be pretty easy to crack, because it would be, well, I'm just going to look at the bottom of the comic book in the plastic bag and go, okay, that's the comic book, that's the backing board. I'll bet that's the chase card right there.
Well, and the Waverly kind of was doing that with the Turtles book and the Spawn book, where you're getting a randomly inserted card, and it's like, okay, but it's not like we're selling 80,000 of these to the direct market. Like, it's kind of a limited. You're buying this because you want this.
Right.
And
right.
The collector part of me is going, well, yeah, it's a neat idea, and the obsessive collector part's going, just make sure you send me a full set.
Right. So crunching this, and it's sort of coincidental that the Cerberus card would attract my attention, and I got Rolly to scan both sides of it. I hope you or anybody else who's interested can do a bit of an online research of Menagerie of the Mind Cerberus Allen and Ginter card for Major League Baseball. And I was joking to Rolly today, I'll find out that the Cerberus card is worth like $28,000 or something like that. And it's just been sitting in this framed picture for this long. But the reason that I bring it up in association with the Kickstarter is that we are going to do chase cards, where we're going to do chase postcards, where longtime listeners will recall me coming up not that long ago with the postcard jigsaw puzzle idea, where taking as our test puzzle the Spawn 10 script wraparound cover, we broke that down into 4x6 postcards that, when you get the postcard set, you take it and you basically assemble an artist edition version of size as of the Spawn 10 wraparound cover that I did, which has all of the detail, because it's exactly the same size as the original artwork. It's just chopped down into postcard size. And then on the other side of each of the postcards is, of course, a Can 11 postcard saying this is what this is from. But I decided, well, it would be interesting, because the postcard jigsaw puzzle is, I think there's 8 postcards that you assemble together into the Master Artist Edition. And I went, you wouldn't really be able to tell if you slipped a chase card in with those postcards into we're hoping, I got Rolly started on this today, plastic bags that are exactly the size for holding 7 or 8 4x6 postcards, which that's a pretty common size for postcards. I'm assuming that they exist in the collector's market. That when you get your jigsaw puzzle, postcard jigsaw puzzle, as part of this Kickstarter, you open it up and go through it, and see if it's got a chase card in it. And whatever is on the chase card, that's what you won.
Okay.
So far, deciding to get a little bit extravagant, the original artwork for the 2024 Aardvark-Vanaheim Christmas card, which was actually a rabbi card. Have they seen the rabbi card yet?
I don't think I've seen the rabbi card yet.
Uh-oh. I had no idea. Yes, this is a deep, dark secret. I decided with anti-Semitism sweeping the planet since October 7th, 2023, that I thought, instead of doing a Christmas card, I'm going to do a rabbi card with Cerebus as rabbi and a parody of the cover of Superman #1. And inside, instead of saying Merry Christmas, it's going to have all of the major Jewish holidays for the year and what days they occur. And also at the bottom, Happy Birthday, the multiple choice birthday Christmas card I've been doing for the last couple of years. Cerebus in Hell greeting cards, cheaper in bulk, as they say on the back. So that's going to be another thing that will be offered as part of the Kickstarter is if you want a Happy Birthday Rabbi card, and I don't know what we're going to be charging for them. I think, we're going to be trying to keep it to around $10, $15, somewhere around there. When you're filling out your backer report, if you ordered one, just say when your birthday is, and that's when we will send you your rabbi birthday card on your birthday, signed and personalized by Dave Sim. There's 122 of them, and I'm starting to get my Christmas cards in that have been held up because of the Canada blow strike. And so Rolly made up, I think, 6 packages today for responding to the Christmas cards. And that's the way I do my Christmas card. You send me a Christmas card, here's the Aardvark-Vanaheim Christmas card. So that's one of the things that will be offered. We'll also be offering the Rabbi proof card, the one that says on the back of it, number 0 out of 122. And already sent out Michael R's number 26 rabbi card. So you don't have to sweat about that one, Michael. Right there for you. Same thing with Jennifer's number 15 card. That's been put aside. I'm getting together a present for Jennifer. And anybody else who's got a lucky number or a can number between 1 and 122, we'll do our best if you buy a rabbi birthday card to get that out to you. Now, what happened today was I started going, well, wait a minute, if it's a chase card, I can just keep doing chase cards all the way up to the point where we're doing the fulfillment on the Kickstarter. And one of the things about the Kickstarter is we don't know if this is going to happen, but President-elect Trump has said that on day one, January 20th, one of his first executive orders is to slap a 25% tariff on anything coming into the U.S. out of Canada. Don't know if that's going to happen, but when Donald Trump is saying stuff like that, particularly for a captive Canadian audience, he's usually not just funning around. He actually means it. So we can't start the Kickstarter until we see what happens on January 20th. If there is a 25% tariff on everything coming out of Canada, however temporary that turns out to be, if that's one of President Trump's first executive orders, then what we're going to have to do is drop all the prices by 25%. And the thinking on that is that, okay, the 3 Narutobus covers are $25 each. The same thing that we did with Akimbo at the beginning of last year. But if we were to charge all the backers $25 US for the Narutobus covers, and they bought like 3 of them, and then they came across the border and were shipped to the backers, then they would be paying another $8.50 when the package arrived. So consequently, you go from doing a $25 comic book to a $33 comic book, which would be a really, really unhappy surprise at the door for most people. But if we drop the price to, I think it worked out to like $17.50 US, then when they add on the 25% tariff coming across the border, that'll bring it up to $25. So you'll be paying the same for the Narutobus copies that you were paying for the Akimbo copies. The difference is that you'll be paying Aardvark-Vanaheim $17.50, and you'll be giving $8 and some cents to the U.S. Treasury.
Which is where it gets confusing, because, like you said, he might not do this. He probably is going to try, or they're going to, there's going to be legislation to fight it.
Right, and then there's also, like, what are the governors going to do? Because all of the Kickstarter packages will be coming across the border in Buffalo, and does Kathy Hochul, and I've never heard her name pronounced, the governor, Democratic governor of New York, is she going to go, no, you don't have to do that? Or is it like a federal override, and all border points, doesn't matter if it's a blue state or a red state, it's that 25% tariff is going on everything. Had you heard about this before?
I heard about it vaguely. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's kind of like when I got you the tone from Japan, and they're like, okay, it's $20 for shipping, and it was okay, cool. And then it showed up, and it was, oh yeah, and you have to pay a tariff for bringing it into Canada, and it's like, okay, DHL, why didn't you say that when I placed the order? I could have paid the extra money then.
Right.
And it's
right.
And I don't know if it's going to be the same kind of thing of, they're going to be, it's going to come across the border and sit in a warehouse waiting for all the backers to send the money. Or, is this one of these where you mail everything to Buffalo, and then after that it doesn't matter, there's a one-time, because if the tariff is going on the declared value, well, the declared value is $17 for everything in this giant box.
Right.
Right. And then it gets broken down and split off and shipped. I mean, I understand that's probably mildly illegal, but at the same time, it's a business. We're trying to get money to you, not money to everybody who's not you. Right.
At the same time, I got to say, as a Canadian, and this is a minority viewpoint in Canada, we have been NATO freeloaders for so long that I'm on the same page with President-elect Trump on this one. We've got $100 billion trade balance in Canada's favor, and it's like, well, you probably wouldn't have that if you actually paid your 2% gross domestic product. You're supposed to be paying into NATO, and instead of doing that, going, oh well, the United States will protect us. we're going to spend all of this money on other stuff. So it's like, you've been riding for a fall for a long time, and I got to say, Donald Trump, to whatever extent he didn't know what he was walking into in 2017, he knows exactly what he's walking into in 2025. So absolutely nothing would surprise me, and I'm willing to go along with it. I think one of the things, if it does happen, I mean, it's going to have such a devastating impact on the Canadian economy and the Canadian dollar, which is already trading below 70 cents U.S. I assume it will go down by maybe another 10 cents on top of that minimum if the tariff goes on. Then it's like, well, okay, I'm getting paid in U.S. dollars, so the drop in the Canadian dollar up here, Aardvark-Vanaheim and Dave Sim look like they're flying. Wow, look at those guys way up there. Those how are they making that much money? Because we're getting paid in U.S. dollars, real money. Canada, the world's reserve currency.
I mean, that'll be the time when I contact Rolly and say, so how many copies of Albatross #1 are sitting out at Camp David that we're trying to get rid of? Because, hey, guess what, everybody? There's a price drop. It's still the same amount in U.S., but, Dave's going to be making bank on them.
Right. Or, like I say, I prefer to go the other way and say, as the Canadian dollar drops, let's give all of our American friends a break and say, headed for the peso, devalued currency, good time to shop Canadian. That's another thing. The Albatross thing. I was thinking, what can I do, like one of a kind things that I can make a chase card out of? Because it's like I say, the whole time that the Kickstarter is going on, and it's not even going to start until the earliest at January 22nd or 23rd. Here's Albatross 2. There's only one of them, a facsimile, and it's on the chase card. So buy lots of the postcards that assemble into a jigsaw puzzle, and we'll try. I'm going to try and keep the price down to. I want to find out. Okay, what's the whole package going to cost? And here's what it's going to cost in Canadian. So that really what we're doing is producing part artist edition, full-size pictures, part postcard collections, and part lottery tickets. How many of these do you want to buy for $10? Because, wow, look at all of this cool stuff that's on these chase cards. What's the odds that I'm going to get me a chase card and it's going to be for something cool? And this is really a swordfish thing, because this is the only place that I'm talking about this. It'll still exist, and presumably the people who don't listen to Please Hold for Dave Sim and don't follow A Moment in Cerebus are going to be, the postcards came in. Oh, yeah, they do assemble into a puzzle. Wait a minute, one of these pictures isn't like the others. It looks like a piece of original artwork. What does it say on the back? You have won this piece of original artwork. You just have to send this into box 1674. Or they never open the package and never find out about it.
And right now, Eddie's pulling his hair out going, Dave, they're going to find it 6 weeks after you go, and I'm going to have to find the original art it goes to.
No. We got that covered. Back at Camp David, I've told Rolly, okay, I'm going to be doing this, and I'll put a Post-it note on each thing that says chase card. That means produce a chase card for this and put it in one location with all the chase card stuff. So Eddie doesn't have hair to pull out. So we don't want him even trying. That's a very ugly picture. So put your mind at rest there, Eddie the Successor, and all of those will be in one place. And as long as Rolly and I don't go both at the same time, Rolly will be able to find stuff for you in Camp David, as Rolly finds me stuff in Camp David. Like, one of the things I came up with is the Kickstarters. Everybody's real keen on proof copies. I think maybe that was because Waverly Press, when they would do something, they would do like a lot of proof copies. It would be like, they're very, very expensive, but there's 30 of them for this item or whatever. And it's like, no, in this case, I've got a box of, when we started numbering the Cerebus and L with a question mark, issues that this is how many copies, and this is what number this is out of the full print run. I had Rolly put aside all the 1s, 2s, and 3s for Aardvark-Vanaheim, plus the proof copies for that comic book. So it's like, there's a chase card item. There's also we've also decided, okay, anytime I run across a proof thing that I didn't know I had, which happens not infrequently in the Off-White House, for this Kickstarter, it's like, okay, that goes in, and all of the proofs are $100. If you want a proof, the guarantee in the Off-White House with the Aardvark-Vanaheim stuff is, this is the only proof. There's not like there's 20 or 50 of these, and the proof has got a sticker on the back from Studio Comics Press that I had Alfonso do that says printer's proof and is signed by Alfonso. And then I write on it hand-corrected proof if I corrected it inside, which I usually did, circling stuff and then faxing the corrections to Birdsong or Benjamin Hobbs or whoever was doing the corrections. So that's another thing that you can be watching for on the Kickstarter. It's coming together. It's always nice to see something coming together. Saying to Rolly, the Can 11 is done, right? Like, we had this horrible year last year. Actually, David Birdsong had the horrible year last year where absolutely nothing that we thought was going to get done got done. But Can 11 guys did get done, and all of the pages have been proofed. Thumbs up from Sean Robinson. I did all the commentaries, corrected those, and it's like Rolly's going. He's going through all his material while I'm talking about this, and goes, okay, here's the pages. Here's the 10 pages from Can 11, but I'm not seeing the commentaries. And I'm going, oh no, I hope I didn't dream that part, because I have this vivid picture in my mind. I did 2 or 3 pages of commentaries, most of them on Eddie Campbell and Bacchus, and the Bacchus parody in Cerebus 201, which is the earliest Guys pages. And Rolly went, no, here they are. Yes, it is done. So the other thing that we were working on last year, with Can 10 and Akimbo, I was going, wait a minute. Why aren't we printing these books ahead of time? Why aren't we printing the portfolios ahead of time? It's always ballpark 130 portfolios. If we print 150, we'll have 20 left over. The variant covers are all scarcity index of 6 that guaranteed there's between 50 and 200 of these. according to the Photojournal Guide. They're the ones who came up with the scarcity index for Golden Age comics. Last time out, Akimbo, it was 82, 82, and 77, I think. So let's arbitrarily say 100. Still closer to the 50 than the 200, but let's print them all and have all of the blanks on the back where it says, this is number such and such on Kickstarter, that the orders came in and this was the 9th copy ordered. So you're getting the 9th copy. But if you have a can number, if Michael R gets the 9th one, he's going to want it numbered 26 because his can number is 26. We'll have that covered, but I'll be writing the numbers in by hand at the same time that I'm signing the books on the front and writing what date it was that I signed the book and filled in all the blanks on the back. I think this is going to guarantee that all of the material will go out, God willing, and the creek don't rise, and there isn't another mail strike or any of those other 2024 disasters, that they should all be able to go out within a few days of the end of the Kickstarter if all of the backers are getting in line as they've been inclined to do and go, yep, I'm not putting off filling my backing report. I'm getting it in right away because then I'll get the stuff right away.
Yeah, I mean, I have not heard any. I think the last Kickstarter there were like 2 people that didn't fill out their surveys, and it was, Hobbs and I talking about it. He on his column he'd say, we're still waiting on a couple people, and I kept asking him, how many are left? Because if it's a bunch, I'll make a comment about it on every post of, hey, fill out your survey. Hey, fill out your survey. But if it's only 1 or 2, well, we won't forget those people. But at the same time, it's we can email them individually, going, hey, you want to take care of this?
Right. And I think we still had ongoing ones that we didn't hear back. I think there was a final straggler where it was literally like months later. So that's definitely a policy that we've got of as soon as we're at a majority where 95% of the backer reports have come in, that's when we start processing these. And Rolly sets everything up, makes his list, checking it twice, finding out who's been naughty and who's been nice, and putting the packages together. And this time I get to play because I get to come in and put the chase cards in. Randomly. Just, Rolly, just turn your back, and I'm going to put these chase cards in with these picture puzzles, and I'll have no idea who they're going to. You have no idea who they're going to. And the next sound you hear is somebody going, what the hell is this?